Welcome to Muskallonge Lake State Park.
Muskallonge Lake State Park is located 28 miles northwest of Newberry in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It is situated right between Muskellunge Lake and Lake Superior.
Muskallonge Lake State Park is a good one for boating, fishing, rock hunting along Lake Superior, and if you are an ORV user, this is one of the state parks where you can bring your ORV and ride it to and from the state park to the local trails, which you can't do at all of them, but because there are so many trails nearby, this is one of those added bonuses here at this park.
It is nice that they let you ride to and from your campsite, so you don't have to keep hooking up and trailering it to the trailheads. The trailheads, there's several of them in this area, actually. I think it's well known for people using it for ORVs. You mentioned rock hunting. We were out on the Lake Superior shoreline last night when we got here, and there's a ton of rocks and all kinds of cool stuff to dig around in and see, and plenty of trees and driftwood, and, it's sort of a Lake Superior beach, I guess, but there's some cool stuff to see there.
It's very traditionally Lake Superior with all the rocks, and you can find things like agate, conglomerates, granite, basalt, and at the host station here, they actually have a board set up with all of the different rocks and their types and what they look like. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, I would check out the little host station first to see what you're going to see, and then head on over to the beach so that you can actually find them for yourself. There are approximately 150 campsites here at Muskallonge Lake State Park, situated in 3 different loops. They all seem to be very varied within those 3 loops, so you've got paved, gravel, and grass sites in essentially all 3 loops, and a mixture of 50 amp and 2030 amp, again with all 3 loops. So it's more of just a matter of finding the one that works for you in terms of what size you need and whether you need 50 or 30 amp.
Yeah, and size is important because the site sizes seem to vary quite a bit, I noticed. And there's some people have some good-sized rigs on some sites, but there's others that seem kind of small. I guess that's pretty standard throughout most state parks we're finding. There seems to be a mix here. No matter what site you're on, we happen to be on a corner site, so we only had one neighbor. But otherwise, you're going to have quite a few neighbors, and they're going to be right next to you.
This is a park where you're packed in quite a bit. While there are some mature trees, there aren't as many as we've seen other places. So in some sections, you are going to be pretty backed up to your neighbor. And in a few cases, I noticed fire pits and picnic tables are going to be right next to your neighbor's slide or back of their camper. So you'll just have to be aware of that and maybe move your picnic table to be closer to your end, if it's going to be in the way of somebody else's.
This is one of those parks that I think the DNR referred to as a good base camp kind of thing. So it depends what you want to do, because the state park itself is, just over 200 acres.
Yeah, it's not very big.
There's no real hiking trails or anything here. It's more about being here for your ORV trails. If you want to use those, if you want to go out on Muskellunge Lake and do some boating there, or you want to see Lake Superior. You're not that far from Tahquamenon Falls and other things in the UP that are just fun to see. So it's a good spot if you want to do that.
Tahquamenon Falls is a must-see if you are in the area. It's probably about an hour from here, simply because as the crow flies, it's not far at all, but there are very few roads because it's national forest and protected lands here. So you're going to have to go down and around. But Tahquamenon Falls is definitely a must-see. That's to the east. To the west, you've got Grand Marais and the Pictured Rocks area, which is also gorgeous, where you can go out kayaking or get a boat tour to go out and see the Pictured Rocks.
This is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so there is a lot of stuff to do no matter where you're at. If you like the outdoors, there's plenty of things to see and do, and this might be the place for you to do that. If for some reason you cannot get into Muskallonge Lake State Park, there are quite a few state forest campgrounds on the road in, I noticed. So that was cool. And those are non-reservable generally. And you can find, they're rustic. They're going to be all rustic. So keep that in mind. But you might have more options when you're up here. So if you're up for some fishing or riding an ORV or doing some rock hounding on the shores of Lake Superior, consider Muskallonge Lake State Park. Keep on trekking.
And we'll see you out there.